It's Thursday from Painesville. Good afternoon and welcome to Newsline on ELBC Radio, an out of news presentation from about Liberia, Africa, and our global village. Today is December 4, AD 2025, and I'm Vasta Talo presenting in the top stories.
Activity and to shift from dependency to innovation bring.
President Joseph Boakai delivers opening remarks at 2025 Imo State Economic Summit in Nigeria. House of Representatives passes landmark act establishing ownership, management, licensing, and operation of community radio stations across Liberia.
Careful.
Environmental Protection Agency conducts scientific investigation on suspected hydrocarbon discovery in Grand Bassa County. And away from home, leaders of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda set to sign a peace deal to end long-running conflict in the region. The details of these stories plus the news in Liberian, English, and French, the weather report, sports, and a roundup of our foreign news are all packaged in this edition of ELBC Newsline. But first, we'll go over to Koluba Zeze for a bulletin of news.
President Joseph Boakai wants African nations shift from aid dependency to innovation for the growth and development of the continent. President Boakai believes doing so will unlock the rich potential of Africa and leverage opportunities for young people on the continent. The Nigerian leader was speaking Thursday during the first edition of the Imo State Economic Summit in Nigeria.
Friction creates possibilities. Collective effort turns potential into progress. The summit embodies which partnership is key to sustainable progress.
The president also called for collective approach among African leaders in tackling complex challenges affecting the continent. Meanwhile, President Boakai has emphasized his government's steadfast commitment to engaging African leaders for the advancement of the continent. The House of Representatives has passed a landmark act establishing its ownership, management, and licensing and operation of community radio stations across Liberia. The legislation received approval following a detailed review by the Joint Committee on Information, Broadcasting, and Judiciary. Sponsored by Niba County District 2 Representative Jan Flomo, the bill seeks to create a sustainable and transparent regulatory framework to strengthen the communities or the country's community radio sector. The act also acknowledged the vital role community radio plays in Liberia's peace-building process, national development, and the timely dissemination of public information. The act provides for a dedicated budgetary allocation, mandating that 0.25% of the national budget be directed towards sustaining and managing the community radio sector. The act has now been forwarded to the Liberian Senate for concurrence. Environmental Protection Agency Director for Environmental Research and Radiation Safety, Raphael Ngumbu, says the EPA is assessing the impacts of the recent discovery of a black substance in Bontown, Grand Bassa County. Mr. Ngumbu told ELBC Thursday that the team has not gone in the area to determine whether the substance discovery is crude oil or not. He disclosed that the team is looking at the impacts the seepage will pose to water resource, the soil, the environment, and the human health, among others.
What we are actually going for as the competent authority is to look at not to discover whether the black substance is oil or not, but to look at this particular seepage, since we want to be able to understand the impact it poses to water resources, to soil, to the environment and human health, to know the extent of the seepage.
Mr. Mr. Gombo said from the assessment so far, the water resource in the area is not affected because the discovery site is 100 feet away. Meanwhile, the National Oil Company of Liberia, NOCAI, says it is aware of the reported hydrocarbon seep in Biontown, Grand Bassa County. NOCAI in the release said it has conducted two technical field missions to conduct seep reconnaissance, surface geology assessment, baseline data collection. The release noted that the only onshore reconnaissance license holder at the time identified oil ship occurrences indicating the Roberts Basalt Basin may have potential for commercially viable hydrocarbons. According to Luca, samples collected from the ship zones are currently undergoing laboratory geochemical analysis, including the API gravity determination to classify the fluid. First Lady Katumu Bwaka is in Accra, Ghana to participate in a high-level meeting on ending mother-to-child transmission and achieving the triple elimination of HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis B in Africa. The summit, hosted by Mrs. Lordina Mahama, First Lady of Ghana, has gathered First Ladies from across the continent at the Ghanaian Presidential Palace. According to the release, the forum is focused on unifying advocacy and accelerating strategies to eliminate the transmission of those diseases from mothers to their children, a cornerstone of Africa's public health agenda. The conference, the Marshal said, is being conveyed under the auspices of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development. Meanwhile, First Lady Katumu Bwaka is expected to highlight Liberia's strides alongside its African partners, advancing maternal and child health and securing a healthier future for the next generation. The National Port Authority has been selected to participate in Scope Africa, a major European Union funded initiative that strengthens safety, security, and operational efficiency across key ports in West and Central Africa. The 12 million euros program was launched in Lomé, Togo, and will be implemented by Expertise France and enable a Belgian agency for international development cooperation. According to a release, the program includes 10 ports from 9 countries with a goal of building resilient, secure, and well-governed maritime corridors. The release said Liberia's inclusion comes through its active engagement in the Port Management Association of West and Central Africa. Meanwhile, NPA Deputy Managing Director for Administration James Brenner has described Liberia's acceptance as a strategic breakthrough that validates the sweeping reforms underway across the Freeport of Monrovia and other outstation ports. At the same time, Scope Africa has promised to respond to rising maritime threats across the continent, including criminal networks, terrorism, industrial risks, and climate pressures. The program includes compliance with global port safety and security standards, crisis response, risk management systems, professional training, and workforce development, especially for women and the youth. According to the program, cooperation between port authorities and the national governments is critical to support regional platforms. Meanwhile, the National Port Authority says the program will provide expanded access to specialized training, upgraded governance frameworks, and comprehensive assessments to enhance national port security. By joining the EU-backed initiative, the NPA stated Liberia will strengthen its capacity to support the African continental free trade area, enhance competitiveness, logistical readiness, and resilience to emerging threats. The Agriculture Ministry says it is advancing strategies to create 15,000 jobs for Liberians next year. It followed a cabinet meeting Tuesday in Tottenham, Bombay County to find ways that could create more jobs for Liberians. Agriculture Minister Dr. Alexander Nuta told ELBC that the move will focus on expansion of mechanism centers. The, agri- the agriculture
in our agriculture sector, looking at how we expand mechanization. These are areas we think we will make the appropriate investment going to be creating more jobs for our people.
The agriculture minister believes such endeavor will empower Liberians to address pertinent issues and contribute to the country's revenue envelope. Meanwhile, Minister Nuta has re-echoed government's strong determination to improve the livelihood of Liberians. An officer of the Pinsville City Corporation, Solomon Bwakai, has been suspended for allegedly assaulting a pregnant street vendor in the commercial hub of Red Light on Wednesday. The situation led to the woman identified as Fatu Amara being hospitalized at the John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital in Sinka. According to a release, Officer Bwaka will remain suspended pending a full investigation. The Painesville City Corporation also confirmed that Madam Amara is stable and responding to treatment. Meanwhile, the officer has been turned over to the Liberian National Police for investigation. The PCC says it remains committed to upholding the highest standards of professionalism and accountability within its law enforcement agencies. The General Assembly of the Liberia National Bar Association gets underway Friday in Cantonema County. The three-day assembly will end Sunday with the adoption of several recommendations by delegates. This year's assembly is under the theme Strengthening the Rule of Law, Lawyers' Role, and Restoring Public Trust. The president of the Liberia National Bar Association, Councillor Bonavama, said during the assembly, delegates will deliberate on key issues confronting the country's judicial system. The Liberia Electricity Corporation Deputy Managing Director for Administration, Eric Fredericks, has engaged residents of Brewerville, G4, and surrounding communities aimed at addressing key issues affecting electricity services. During the engagement, Mr. Fredericks held open discussions with residents on metering and customer connection processes. He also discussed ongoing efforts by the LEC to curb power theft while assuring the community that the entity remains committed to improving service delivery, expanding assets, and strengthening transparency in its operations. Meanwhile, the residents welcomed the dialogue and expressed appreciation for LEC's renewed focus on community engagement as part of broader efforts to enhance reliability and accountability within the sector. And members of the Christian Association of the Blind, Margidi County chapter have benefited from a $13,000 United States project. The money set aside by the county leadership is intended to upgrade the building hosting the School of the Blind. The move, according to our correspondent, is geared towards creating better learning environment and seeking the welfare of those with visual impairment in the county. Our correspondent said it is the first time money is being allotted for a project to do the county's cover for members of the blind community.
Kolobaz is there with the news bulletin. Makes a return later with our weather report and international developments. One of the big stories we are following this afternoon: Environmental Protection Agency conducts scientific investigation on suspected hydrocarbon discovery in Grand Bassa County. Members of the First Family are out of the country, holding a series of bilateral engagements in the interest of Liberia's advancement. To be exact, President Bwaka is in Nigeria attending the first edition of the prestigious Imo State Economic Summit. On the other hand, First Lady Katumo Bwaka is also taking part in a high-level health forum in Accra, Ghana. We have a report.
The Imo State Economic Summit is bringing together policymakers, business